So, Goole Vikings out the way, a comfortable win for the Wire in the Betfred Challenge Cup. Now, we face our heads to the Betfred Super League action against the Castleford Tigers this Saturday. If you can hear loads of cars going past, we do apologise. We are enjoying the hot weather today. We're outside Padgate Village Club. We do normally do it inside the Village Club. If you are local to Padgate, please feel free to come in. We do a quiz every Monday. We do do's on Fridays. Relatively good drinks, good snacks, good people. But yeah, Rob, Goole Vikings, bit easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty standard sort of game, and you would expect every day of the week for Warrington to win that sort of game against the mid-table championship team. But actually, the score doesn't reflect the effort that Goole Vikings actually put into the game on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't go on Saturday, but I've seen the highlights, I've watched the game back, and I've got to say, 100% Rob, I've got to agree. The effort from Goole Vikings, they never gave up, they never give in. They've got some ex-Super League talent, as we mentioned last week. I forgot Liam Watts played for them.
And I didn't even know Brett Ferris played for him.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So they seem to be doing things right. Obviously, they've got ex-Hull FC man Scott Taylor coaching them. So I think that's where the links of the old players come in. But yeah, we're in the next round of the Cup, and that's all what matters.
Yeah, and for that we've got a home side against the Leigh Leopards.
Another tough side.
Tough side, and we play them twice in a week as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting game because Leigh are gripped in the middle of a real serious injury crisis. I mean, they're only going to be able to field 17 fit players this week.
That's crazy.
And I read somewhere there's 89 players unavailable across Super League this weekend. So there's a real sort of injury crisis, but I don't think it's just here. I think it's in the NRL, but we'll get on to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Warrington didn't really have to get out of third gear to post 78 points. I mean, Ewan Irwin kicking 13 out of 13 on the day. 8 different academy try scorers. Some real nice touches from Max Ward, from Luke Thomas. Ben Hartle at hooker was absolutely outstanding. I think the job was done at half time, although
yeah.
I mean, I was a little worried when they went with the short kick-off, and they did this 3 times. Warrington failed to deal with it, and after Warrington had scored the try, did a short kick-off, Lachlan Webster made a mess of it, and then Goole went in under the post to tie it up at 6-all. But after that, it was all one-way traffic.
Yeah, so you see a lot of teams doing this short kick-off business. I just don't see why. It reminds me of flashbacks of when Sneed did that dropout against Wigan. I think it was when Salford were leading, when he was back in Salford colours. And I think they were winning 12-10 with like 5 minutes to go, and Sneed did a short dropout. It's like, is it poor management, or are teams trying to get the ball back a lot easier? They're trying new tactics? I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, it seems like a bit of a fashion, especially if you look at the dropouts this year. Teams are going short on dropouts. I think it's stupid to say the least sometimes, because you put yourself under more pressure doing a short kick-off and trying to retain the ball. Get that ball upfield, make them work back. Give yourself a set of 6 further down the field. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on at all, but there is a common trend there. But I don't know what's going on at all.
No, so happy to be in the next round. We're going to play Leigh twice in a week. We're going to play him on Easter Saturday, and we're going to play him in the Challenge Cup, and that, I have no doubt, will be one of the BBC main games as well.
Yeah, I was looking last night, and if things work out the way they are, I can see it being Saints and Catalan on the Thursday, and then I think on the Friday night I can see Hull KR in York, us and Leigh on the Saturday, and then Wakefield and Wigan on the Sunday.
Yeah, right.
It sounds common sense, really.
Yeah.
As we play Catalan the week after on the Saturday, so we kind of need that 7-day gap.
Yeah, you need that 7-day turnaround, but it's going to solely depend on the BBC. Now, we'll go on to this. Warrington seems to have just hit a little bit of a mini injury crisis at the moment. Toafofoa Sipley being the latest into the casualty ward. Out for 6 to 8 weeks. He's done his knee and his calf.
Yeah.
According to reports.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'd like to apologise to Cai Taylor-Wray, because last week I said about the full back injury crisis, and hopefully it doesn't happen to Cai Taylor-Wray. And then as soon as we released the video, a few minutes after, Warrington released saying he's done his hamstring in training. So, yeah.
You blame yourself for that.
I'm blaming myself for that one this week. But no, obviously Cai and Toff, whatever your name is, Toafofoa or something. Wish you all the best in recovery. But yeah, we've hit a bit of an injury crisis, and it's not just us though, is it?
No, I mean every team in Super League has got at least 1 to 2 players that are potentially injured. There just seems to be a thing at the moment where players, I don't know why, I don't know whether it's because we've had worse weather. We've probably had worse weather, and it's probably affecting a lot of the pitches. Yeah. There's all sorts of factors in play. It could be the speed of the game, the ruck speed. That injury to Sipley, I read in The Guardian, came from kind of a dangerous tackle.
So they've not picked that up.
It's probably not something that's been picked up, or it's probably not something that's been visible. To be fair, I mean, Tara Jones didn't have much to do, but to be fair, she had a decent enough game.
Right.
But those things can get missed. If you've got 3 or 4 players going in a tackle like that, there's every possibility you miss something.
Yeah.
So you can't blame Sarah for that. She's, I mean, on video review, because they do video reviews as well. They will put that up on Monday and have a look at it. But I don't know whether it's been charged or not. But it was just something I saw in The Guardian yesterday. But I mean, we're saying Lawrence have got many injury crisis. We've now got the strength in depth we've been crying out for the past couple of years, where players can step up from the reserves or the academy team and step into the first team. And I think that can only be a good thing. I would suspect this weekend we'll see Max Wood.
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw Max Wood try. I saw Max Wood run the ball hard. He tackled well, and for me, he deserves that spot from Sipley.
Yeah, absolutely. Either him or Luke Thomas, because they've been absolutely ripping it up. And I must say as well, the reserves, even with half a team out, went to Huddersfield and scored 26 unanswered points last week. Yeah,
they are looking good this year again. They are looking unreal. And as we mentioned last week, I feel like the reserves, like you spoke to Gary Chambers, he said he's getting it right, and that's what we love to see. Like, if you look at Hull KR, they've only got that 21-man squad, and then once they go to reserves, there's no talent really there. There's probably is talent, but not as in strength and as depth as Warrington, as we feel like a family and connected.
No, well, the thing is, as well, I think Gary Chambers has now sought to put all the building blocks in there to make sure that Warrington has that step up. So any players now, so if we get like we've got a bit of a mini injury crisis now, players from the reserves, from the academy, can step into the first team.
Yeah.
And I think, to be fair to Sam Burgess, that is what he wants to build up, and he said that from day one. I mean, yeah, you can be a bit critical of Sam for last year, but you've got to say, and he's consistently said it, that he wants to see homegrown players coming through.
Yeah.
Steve McNamara will be the same.
Yeah.
Just on Steve McNamara as well, I saw this when I was flicking around X the other day. Some Hull fan who, and we'll come on to coaches in a bit because we feel some of the coaches are under a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
But some Hull fan, I don't know who he was instigating that Steve McNamara will be going back to Hull if John Cartwright gets sacked.
It's not a bad shout. But
would he want to?
I was speaking to my friends, and I think he loves it at Warrington. I think he sees a bit of a younger self in some of the players, and I think he wants to urge the younger players and get them on a pathway and get them in the first team and make their Warrington debuts. And he is making quite an impact at Warrington, and I think hopefully he realises that he is making an impact. But no, I don't see him going back to Hull.
I can't, because I
know he's assistant coach at Warrington, and obviously it is a head coach role. But as we've mentioned, and all the Warrington fans keep saying, when is it when Burgess is going to go back? Like, we don't know.
We don't know. Might re-sign. You never know.
You never know. But as we've just mentioned, Steve Mack is doing an incredible job at Warrington.
Yeah, and I think he said in an interview earlier in the year when he first signed up at Warrington, he said, I don't want to just take anything. He said it has to be the right opportunity, and he thought Warrington was the right opportunity.
Yeah.
And you know he's pretty good, and he'll stick with what he's set out to do. And he's changing things around at Warrington, and you can see that how they're
as we mentioned, is that bridge between Burgess and Mack. Like, Burgess doesn't have expertise in this area, Steve Mack doesn't. They're both working together as a team, and it's nice to see.
And that's all you want. You want the coaching staff to work together, and you want everyone to be on the same page. And it looks like the players are on the same page, the coaches are on the same page.
Yeah.
Last year there was that connection where they weren't on the same page. They were going one way, coaches were doing it. I think that's been bridged pretty quickly, and Steve McNamara has made pretty sure that this is the direction. He's said to the players, this is the direction of travel. So we've got strength in depth there to cover injury crisis. And it might falter the academy or the reserves for a couple of weeks, but it's not going to make any huge amounts of impact because the talent actually coming through now, and you can see that. Yeah. And the thing is, like we've said, players can step in when they need to, and I think that's what you want. I think Saints and Leeds, Wigan have had that for years, and we're starting to get that right now. And I think Gary's drove that to a point where it'll just be seamless. And that's what you want, because you don't want someone coming in, not knowing what they're doing, not knowing how they're playing, and then it just goes completely a mess. Then the fans will get on the back of the players. Players now are stepping up and they're coming into the thaw all the time, and it's good. And they're around the first team environment, which can only help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this weekend, Warrington play Castleford. Now, Castleford haven't really had the best start to the season. I mean, we're only in round 5. They've shown promise in early games, but they've not really delivered on what they were doing. 26-8, they got beat by Saints last week. I think they got beat a similar sort of score against Leeds 2 weeks ago in Super League. What do we expect from Castleford this weekend? I mean, they've got injuries as well.
Yeah, obviously they've got Blake Taffy, another full-back who's done his hamstring, so he's out for the year. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. Castleford, they seem to be getting okay players, and then a bit like Hull FC, I'd say they seem to recruit well, but then they never really take off. I don't see what's going on with the clubs at all. But
no, I don't know. Well, there was a big fit when Ryan Carr came in to Castleford this year. There was a big thing that they've turned the corner and they'll do this. They've not really delivered, to be honest, have they?
I think they've spent more money on their stadium redevelopment than their actual players. Like, they've not really. They've recruited okay. If I was a Castleford fan, I'd be a bit happy with that, because they have seemed to get like mostly out the dead wood, and they have recruited it with young players. But yeah, like I don't know.
So the table tells you a lot. Castleford are currently lying in 10th.
Yeah.
We've played 4, 1 win, 3 losses.
Yeah.
That 1 win came against Toulouse. In Toulouse, and that was probably one of their better performances. But this, if you want anything to sum up how Cass are playing at the moment, Ravalawi, when he failed to catch that ball, he just let it bounce off his arm. Yeah. To me, that's a reflection of how Cass are, or where they're at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
But we can't take him for granted, can we?
No, because
You can't take them as an easy beat.
No, we can't, because as we've seen in the past, like it comes back and bites you. Like Castleford are a dodgy team. You don't know who's going to turn up. Obviously, like we've mentioned before, they've shown a resilient fight against Wigan round 1, but then they've dropped off. But I think they have got a point to prove, and who knows, they could get the second win of the season against Warrington.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that Alex Mellor of Castleford said they're not far off putting big points on someone. I'm not really. Now, I'm gonna give you a caveat on that one. Warrington have got far too much talent to let Castleford into the game. But Warrington needs to be wary after last time's exploits against York, where they switched off for 10 or 15 minute periods and let York come back into the game. And it could be a similar sort of story. If you give too much time in your own half via penalties, via stupid errors, this, that and the other, you've got to invite them into the thing. You've got to be squeaky clean. And with Liam Rush, referee this week, you've got to be extra clean, haven't you?
Yeah, he's not one of the best, is he? When I found that out, I was a little bit cross, but we can't blame the ref. Do you know what I mean? We can play hard, we can tackle well, make sure we do the little things right, and he won't bother us at all. No,
I mean that. Like I say, I think Warrington have got more than enough talent there, even without Sipley playing this weekend. There's more than enough talent in that squad to offer real threats. I don't think Castleford really have that many threats, but
no.
I still think they're finding how they're playing at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think with a lot of their changes, see, they're another team that haven't really got or haven't really set the investment into the structure of having academy reserves, that sort of thing. And I think that is where, like, a lot of teams fall down. They start off great and they put a lot of money into the first thing, which is fine because it's what people watch. But if you invest lower, so if you invest lower down, I mean, it has taken Warrington a few years, but they are starting to see the signs of that, and that's what Gary Chambers said. It's about building bricks. If Cass can do that, they've got Paul Chester there. I mean, Paul Chester's no mug, but if they can sort of build those foundations up, get an academy in place, get reserves in place, because they are like Warrington, they're a one club town, they're a massive rugby league town, and they're only a population of 38,000, so they've got to invest in getting those structures in place, because I think they have got a reserves team, but they haven't got an academy.
Don't know, not sure.
Don't know, but if they can invest in that, they might see the fruition later on. What they do this weekend, I don't know, but Warrington, I mean, they won't sit back and take him for granted, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, another team that recently there's been a lot of talk about, and this is not for positive reasons, it's the Huddersfield Giants. Huddersfield was the birthplace of rugby league. What do we think about Huddersfield? I mean, it's
sad to see. I think it's sad to see. Obviously, like my granddad was a St Helens fan, and when he sadly passed away, I found a photo of him and his dad in the Challenge Cup final in I think it was like 1950 odd when Saints played Huddersfield, and as I've just said there, birthplace of rugby league. They've been around since the start. I used to love going to Huddersfield away every year, and seeing that on Saturday when Hull KR played them, it was a really sad sight to see.
2,900 fans, and they're saying that 2,000 of them were Hull KR fans.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, everyone was cracking jokes. I think a few Sky pundits were saying, I think it was Kyle Amor, he said something going on in Huddersfield Town Centre today, because it was, they can fit them all in one stand, and I don't know what's going on.
The thing is that the Aki Stadium, as it's now called, I'm so used to call it the John Smith Stadium.
It's the wasn't it?
McAlpine.
Yeah.
McAlpine, Galfa. So
It's had a few.
it's just short of 24k it holds. So it's on par with what the DW or Bricks Community Stadium at Wigan holds.
It's too big for them.
But the Huddersfield public don't seem to want to engage with the rugby league. And I mean, I feel sorry for Ken Davey.
Yeah.
They've had one League Leaders Shield and one Challenge Cup final appearance in 2009 against us, where we won it for the first time in 20 odd years. And they've had a Challenge Cup semi-final appearance in 2024, but they've had nothing really.
We played against Wigan, don't forget, in 2023, was it, in Tottenham?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like you said,
they've had nothing really to shout about, have they?
No. They've never really recovered since Danny Brough left and El Crabtree and all that lot.
Tony Smith started out coaching at Huddersfield as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I had a quick look and I sent this to you the other day. The prices that Huddersfield are charging are absolutely dirt cheap as well.
The cheapest in Super League is...
And I've seen where innovations where they're giving season tickets away.
Yeah.
They give shirts away. What do they need to do to take them to that next level? Do they need to drop down to the Championship and start again?
I'd say, yeah. As another one, like we've just mentioned, Cass, I don't think they've got any talent there. Obviously, they've got the likes of George Flanagan, another player who's injured, but they've not really got that big name, have they?
No, they've got... You'd have thought when Sam Burgess came over, you'd have thought, Huddersfield fans would have bought into that. And it's hard because you don't know what they do day to day. I mean, I would think that Huddersfield run on a tenth of what Warrington run because just because of the crowds they get, and I think the budget's probably not as. Whereas like Warrington, they've got the infrastructure, they've got the marketing. I think Huddersfield probably just about like survive financially.
Yeah.
But something needs to change there. I don't know whether Luke Robinson's the right guy to take them forward. I think that was kind of a secondary option. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I just think they didn't have a backup. I think they tried looking elsewhere. There was no one available, so they were like, you know what, Luke, we'll put our trust in you for a little bit.
Do you know what, though, I think? And I'm not decrying Huddersfield by any stretch of the imagination. But if you go to an NRL club, in all fairness, if you go to an NRL coach, in all fairness, and there's two jobs going, so say there's one at Wigan, there's one at Huddersfield. They're going to look and they're going to go, I'm going to go with Wigan because they're winning this, they've got the crowds, they've got this, they've got the structures, can do this. Huddersfield, you can't really sell it because they don't know whether they're going to have structures in there, they don't know whether they're going to have this, they don't know when they're going to...
Bit of an unknown, aren't they?
Yeah, they don't know whether they're going to be taken out of the stadium because the football club might want to get rid of the tenancy on them. Yeah. So there's all sorts of things. I mean, if anyone's got any comments or wants to, I like Huddersfield. I think it's a nice setup, Huddersfield. It's just a pity they only get 4,000 crowds, and that whether they need to do more work in the community, whether they need a marketing plan. Who knows?
I don't know. Don't know what's going on at all.
I don't know, and it doesn't help then when you come to negotiate with Sky, and Sky are like, well, why should we invest? Why should we invest? Even, and I'm not decrying women's football, but even women's football, which doesn't really get the greatest of crowds.
It's probably bigger than Huddersfield.
It gets more coverage nationally than what Super League does. Yeah. I mean, you'd be hard pressed if you go out of a rugby league area and ask someone,
who's your favourite rugby team?
Or is Super League playing this weekend? They'd be like, what?
Yeah, they'd be like, who are you on about? Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
It's hard to I don't know. If anyone's got any ideas, any memories of Huddersfield, let us know, because we need to.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot there to unplug, isn't there? And I don't know what their solution going forward is.
No.
So this year, Super League celebrates its 30th birthday in 2 weeks' time. So Sky are going to show 3 main picks next week.
Yeah.
One of them being Bradford Castleford. The other, I can't remember.
Brilliant.
It's on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But on the Sunday night, they're also showing Warrington and Leeds at Leeds. And Leeds and Warrington and Castleford and Bradford are 2 of the original Super League fixtures. They were 2 of the original Round 1 fixtures in 1996. Now, the Super League kicked off with being innovative, taking the game to Paris.
Yeah.
It's Paris Saint-Germain. It was a short-lived experiment, but there was all sorts of innovations. And I just want to talk innovations because there's over 30 years of Super League. There's been all sorts of innovation. The latest one is the mouth guards that light up if there's a head injury.
Never seen that.
In the Super League this year, they've got mouth guards and they light up if there's like a head contact. They had to stop the game, one of the Sky games last week, because this mouth guard lit up, and whichever player it was protesting because he was like, but they were saying, well, your mouth guard's lit up. So then you have to go down with someone with the doctor, which is the protocol.
Yeah.
So it's reduced like head and brain
That's
injuries.
incredible.
Yeah. And Mark Wilson, the Sky commentator, said a few weeks ago, he said it's like science in action. But so I want to focus a bit on innovation, and one of the innovations, is, I love it or hate it, Rugby League was the first sport to use the video ref system.
No, I agree. I can't think. Cricket maybe? Or
Rugby League was the very, very first sport to have
a video assistant,
an active video referee. I mean, they've got it in Premier League football now, and they really decry it because I think it's slowing football down to a stop, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we talk about 2-hour games in Rugby League. I think you can add an extra hour or 2 on to football games sometimes. But no, I just want to bring this to you, and if anyone's got any more innovations, Rugby League was the first to use the video ref system, and I think on the whole it's been good. I think the last couple of years it's strayed away a little bit with all this try no try business.
Yeah. But
I think it's a little bit better this year now. They've refined it and said they'll only go up if it needs.
Yeah, I've got to agree there. I think it has deprived in the last few years because obviously like football, it was slowing the game down. Everyone was shouting at them, like the booing. Everyone was angry, fuming. But I think we've got rid of that no try. I think they've just obviously set it up. If they think it's a try, they'll give it as a try, no try. But I think it's speeding the game a lot up.
Yeah, and another innovation for you, summer rugby.
Yeah.
What else can you say?
I remember when we played Widnes in the pre-season this year, and I sit down in the East Stand. If you do see me, say hello, don't be scared. But I was, everyone will obviously say that's why you sat down, because you're cold. But no, it was bitter.
Yeah.
And obviously, as we are today, as we've mentioned, we are sat outside. Hence why you can hear all the cars going past, because the sun is out, and I think the sun brings a lot of happiness out of people. And just think you'd get all the beers flowing, you'd get everyone talking in the beer gardens, you'd get people going to the stadium early, like enjoying the hot weather, watching the lads train. Like,
I think summer rugby as well, you're not contesting. Rugby union and football seasons are contested primarily August to May.
Yeah.
So you put rugby league in August to May, that's an already clumped up sort of.
But yet again, we talk about Sky Sports. Like, I think our games are 5 on a Sunday because there's football on or something. We've had to move out the way because of the football.
There's no football on when we play Leeds.
Is it
It's the international weekend.
Oh.
I think that was possibly one of the original kick-off times,
Yeah,
5:30 on a Sunday. So that's probably why they're doing that. But they are showing 3 main picks next week, so they have got the capacity to do it. And the 3 main picks means they get a full production crew and trucks.
That's good.
So we'll have a full production crew and trucks at Leeds. So, score predictions. Oh, if anyone wants to comment on their innovations of rugby league over the last 30 years, drop it in the comments, let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss it again next week.
Absolutely.
So, score prediction time. It's Warrington Cast. Warrington are back at home again. Don't feel like we've been away for a while.
No, last game, York
away.
But yeah, I didn't go York as I was away.
Right.
I didn't go Goole because I was away. So it feels like I've not been home for a while. But yeah, it'll be good to be back.
Yeah, so what are your score predictions and what are you thinking?
I'd like to say we went away with it again, but we can't count Castleford out. But I think it will be a comfortable win. I think it'll be like I think it'll be a 48-16 win to Warrington.
Going big this week.
Going big this week.
I'm going to go a bit lower, only because of the way we've played recently. We've kind of, I mean, in all those games as well. Actually, they never looked troubled, did they?
No.
They never looked as though they were ever going to lose the games at any point. But you've got to be careful of what Cass can throw at you. And like I say, if you're giving penalty or mistake after mistake away, you invite them back in. If we can complete 100%, I'd agree with you. Warrington will just put 50 on them.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Cass have got enough in them to compete with what Warrington are doing.
That's why I went with the 16, because I can just see us just putting the foot off the gas a bit, getting penalties against us, and they'll just concede a few points against us, and that's why I think we'll concede 16, because we'll lock off a little bit, we'll take the foot off the pedal, but then we've got that talent, like we've been mentioning all podcasts, that we just run away with it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go because Josh Fearless will be at full-back this week, and that could actually also spell a return of Matthew Ashton.
Yeah, everyone wants him to see him back, and I think this week, Matthew Ashton, if you are listening, hello, but you will probably be returning this week, and I think all the Warrington fans will give you a massive round of applause, because although we've got Cai Taylor-Ray out, it will be nice to see Matthew Ashton back. And would you put him at full-back one day?
Yeah,
He used to play full-back for Swinton, and he got obviously, you got man of the match against, I think it was Rochdale and Summer Batch.
Yeah. Well, I think you leave Ashton on the wing, outside Hopper-Warte. I think that could be a dangerous combination. And I think if that's the case, it could be a long afternoon for Castleford. Yeah. I'm going to go 30. I'm going to go 32-6.
Okay.
I think Castle score. They might score first, but I think Warrington will just click back into gear pretty quickly. And you've seen the type of attack that they're trying to produce. They're going right down the middle. I mean, it'll be a pretty full strength team this weekend. Liam Byrne will be back in. I mean, James Harrison was outstanding on Saturday.
Yeah. James Bentley was back. What was nice to see.
Yeah, James Bentley put in a few touches. You've got strength in depth. Max Wood will come in. He'll add something to it. Yeah, I think 32. Yeah, 32-6, because I actually think we're going to have too much for Castleford.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So, that has been the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I do appreciate everyone listening as well. As we mentioned, if you do have any comments or anything, any innovations of Super League, please let us know in the comments. Me and Rob will ideally pick them up next week, where we review the Leeds game.
Yeah, 30 years of Super League next week.
But yeah, let's go to Castleford and hopefully get the 2 points.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Oh, and if anyone sees me in the North Stand, feel free to buy me a hot dog.